Driving up to a danger zone. A convoy of vehicles taking the Prime Minister to see the damage the volcanic ash has caused firsthand. Soldiers man this last checkpoint. From here, no one is allowed past without permission. That's because we're now firmly in the red zone, the area surrounding the volcano La Soufrière in the northern part of the island, the place hardest hit by the eruptions. Looking out of the car window, a grey haze as far as the eye can see. Not just affecting people's homes, but their livelihoods too. Here, the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, stops the convoy to assess the damage.
This is what the ash has done to the bananas. Same thing it has done to the plantains. Everywhere you go, you'll see them.
We've just stopped in a village outside of Georgetown, and these are banana crops, and they are completely destroyed by ash. This is the first time the Prime Minister has been able to venture north, and we're travelling with him. And you can just see at every stop, there's just so much dust. Dust getting in your eyes, dust getting in the back of your throat, dust everywhere, and whole communities just empty and destroyed.
On the roadside, the Prime Minister meets a farmer who lists all his damaged crops.
Banana, plantain, you got cucumber plant, pigeon peas.
Godwin also happens to be a famous calypso singer here. He tries to lighten the mood.
Stove, this your meat to boil. I put it on coals fire. This your meat to boil.
The song resonating with locals within earshot. The lyrics, this meat is hard to boil, meaning the task is difficult, but you will prevail.
Ba-ba-dam, ba-ba-ba-dam, groove how you like. Hey, hey, but what I know, I'm telling you.
From the foothills of the volcano, around 20,000 people have had to leave this area. The evacuation made even more complicated by COVID-19. And then a rumour started saying that if you wanted to get into a shelter or leave the island, you had to have a vaccine.
Can you clear up whether people need to be vaccinated if they go to a shelter if they're going to a ship? Because that's something that has been confusing, and a lot of people have been talking about that on social media.
No. In relation to the issue of vaccination, there was absolutely no requirement at any time to go into any shelter to be vaccinated.
As we continue up north, people are working to clear the road. You can see how thick the ash was, piling up on the side.
Happy why you're still up here?
When we get to Sandy Bay, we can no longer go on. The road to the next 3 villages, impassable. At the end of his tour, I asked the Prime Minister how he's feeling about what he's seen.
What are your initial thoughts when you see all of this devastation?
It's desolate. It's terrible. You'd use the word earlier. Parts of it is like the apocalypse.
There's a bit of a danger here, isn't there? Because we've come up to come and have a look, but people aren't even allowed to come back to their homes. What's your message for those people? Well,
the point about it is this. We are taking a risk. But we have taken a calculated risk. They wouldn't have support systems to get out very quickly. So it's very dangerous for them to come up and stay.
The government in the UK have initially only given £200,000. There's been criticism about that from the Caribbean community in the UK. They say that's not enough. What do you say to that amount of money?
Let me put it this way. The noblest form of solidarity is not to give from the surplus that you may possess, but from the little that you have. That is a guiding principle. And whatever we get from anyone, we thank them and we thank Almighty God. I am sure that the British government will continue to partner with us, as they are doing on several things. Our High Commissioner is in touch with the British government, and they are looking at ways and means in which they can help further.
This is by far the worst damage we've seen. The only people left are trying to clear their roofs of ash before they collapse. They tell us they'll go back to shelters in the safe zone, but they have no idea when they'll be able to return home.